Your teaching philosophy tells a lot about yourself and lets those around you get an insight on who you are and what you believe in. Knowing your teaching philosophy is important for teachers to have identified, so here's mine. The 4 key ideas I believe in as a teacher is to always be flexible and adaptive in my classroom, be passionate about everything and find my drive within my students, be creative and imaginative, have a purpose for everything I do, and never forget to form strong relationships with my students. A teacher once told me, never let your students see you sweat. If your plan is starting to fall apart and you can no longer go down the path you intended, don't freak out. That will lose your student engagement, so be able to go with the flow and think on your toes, just like a chameleon has to change its color based on the environment he's living in to stay alive. Be able to change plans or thoughts within your classroom if you want to keep engagement alive. Do not let it die out, whether it be early on in the day or the last hour of the day. Teaching can become a challenge, but don't forget to take in your classroom. Watch the students, see them grow as individuals, and remind yourself why you pursued education. You make an impact on every student you encounter. Just don't give up. Remember why you love what you do, find that passion again, and hold on tight. Embrace every minute of each day, because one day I know I will wish for it back. Use your imagination to do the unthinkable, and your students will follow in your steps. Creativity and imagination is dying, and something needs to be turned around. I will promote imagination every day to my students, and showing that I can use my imagination will show them that they can too. We remind them that anything is possible if they try their best. They just need to be reminded of that every day. I will always promise my students purpose. I will give them a purpose as to what they are doing for that day and why I'm having them do that. They will know that whatever I ask them to do, there will always be a takeaway for them. In technology, when I hand them technology, there will always be purpose, and it'll never be used as busy work because nothing frustrated me more than busy work. When technology is busy in the classroom, there will always be a purpose, like I stated before. Students will never be left wondering why we did that, or we could have done that without the technology, and it would have been faster. Technology will always be safely used and purposefully used. To waste their time is to waste my time, and neither of those are desired outcomes. I will always make an effort to have a strong relationship with my students. Not all students want to be at school, have a support system at home to tell them to further their education because they are capable of it, and not all students have parents to rely on for comfort or just someone to simply talk to. Showing my students every day that I care for them and want to see them be successful is important to me. I had a teacher like that growing up, and even though I had a strong family support system, knowing someone else who isn't family believes in you pushed me to further myself. I was constantly reminded that anything is possible, and that was one of the biggest takeaways I got from her. My ideal vision of a teacher is a superhero. They are there with a snap of a finger when disaster strikes. They decide how to help the situation in the fastest, safest, and most effective way, which is how teachers should be. Superheroes know that just because it fails the first time doesn't mean to give up. It means to keep trying, and that is something educators need to remember. Teachers are super friends as well, to each and every student, and demonstrates what it means to be a good friend. Seeing how they interact with students demonstrates to their peers on how they too can be a super friend to their classmates. Students will never remember everything they learned throughout their school years, but what they will remember is how they were treated. They'll remember how their peers and their teacher interacted with them and how they made them feel. They will take away more than just content knowledge, but real-life knowledge. They will know how to treat others with respect and compassion. Teaching is a long path of advancements and setbacks, just like the game in Candyland. But sooner or later, you will reach the end, whether it be the end of the day or the end of the lesson. Stay on the path in which you believe in education, and stay true to yourself, and those things will set you up